make or break. And also provides a lot of survivability for them on the team. Arlot has not been banned out. If Deusvult picks up the Arlot, that is going to synergize so good with the Novaria and the Guinevere. And honestly, I don't know if RQ Hoshi notices
Halo
this.
guys,
But if that
guys,
walks, I can pretty much guarantee you Deusvult should pick that up because the Demon Gaze is going to proc almost instantaneously when the Astral Echo goes down from Sunset Lover on the Novaria, and also Magister when he rushes in with the Violet Requiem.
Yeah, wow, what a draft.
Ini kayak apa ya? Kok kayak turnamennya hadiahnya gede tapi MC-nya kok di belakang, guys. Gua nih gak sempat bikin thumbnail. Gua nggak tahu, Cok, udah mulai. Gua nggak tahu ya, RRQ udah main, guys, tuh tau, guys. Oh, guys, kita gua kecil aja di atas, guys. Akan siakan dia.
So I think this kind of goes to show that RRQ Hoshi is pretty much willing to go for the team fights that Deusvult.
Tapi aneh juga ya, bahasanya bahasa Inggris.
I mean, this is a great time. Deusvult has first pick now. They have Prio, and the Arlot would be an excellent pickup for the XP lane. But they're gonna go in for the Ruby instead. I mean, okay, I get it. Ruby's the most picked hero
Ruby,
so far. Game of Futures
Lauda, Guinevere, Novaria. Irat main barat ya guys ya. Gue mau lihat dia main hero lain, guys. Karena gue udah publikin belum ya? Guys, ini gue udah publik belum? Udah ya.
Yes, they have the Faramis, but I mean, Faramis requires a couple of things to be able to provide the most optimal setups for the team. You got to stay close to him for that nether realm to keep you alive, and Deusvult has a
pasin muka lu sebelah casternya, Bang. Oh gitu ya. Gini ya. Nah, ceritanya gini.
Yeah, they got the Faramis to like all of the answers towards the Faramis. You got the Ruby to tug it in. You got the Guinevere to set up the place. Now they still need someone to go in the jungler, someone for Magister to pick up. There's still the Martis here, like kind of like an anti-CC for their side. Great early game. The Nolan's already out. I was actually thinking about Deusvult actually picking that up, but this actually leaves in like only a few options here. And there you have it, right on cue. As I mentioned that the Martis is
okay, guys. Apakah LS masih berlangsung di RRQ? Enggak lah. Gak ada cerita begitu, guys.
Fight heavy type of composition for both RRQ and Deusvult.
I will say though, Banana picked up that Benedetta again. We saw that in game 1 up against Joget, and that really made the difference between him and Skylar being able to pressure the side lanes and win on the 1v1s. I mean, you see Banana oftentimes rotating around and being able to clear that side lane and get to the mid lane with ease and out-rotating their opponent. And then the same thing, Skylar just easily able to gap his enemy marksman. So it is going to be a challenge over there for the side of Deusvult, but I do like their draft. I'm actually maybe favoring their draft a little bit more than RQ Hoshi. I think
RQ Hoshi.
I just like when it comes to how synergized
udah mulai, guys.
is looking. There's going to be a lot of CC, but there's a lot of sustainability to work into the favor of RQ Hoshi as we are now getting
halo akun,
the
welcome.
most anticipated match of the game.
2024
group stage. RRQ out from Indonesia.
RRQ, gue di mana bagusnya guys ya, di bawah atau di samping sini ya? Ntar gue kecilin aja guys, gue segede-gede guanya. Di sini aja, di sini nggak ada ngalangin apa-apa kan? Oh ya. Oke guys, kita lihat guys. Wih, mati dong langsung. GG, rusuh banget mereka. Itu yang mati siapa guys? Oh, si Matilda, Brusco-nya langsung rusuh sendirian guys. Irat. Ini bener-bener permainan Filipina ya guys, yang mengandalkan Nathannya ini doang nih. Nathannya Skylar.
Kidbamba just kind of being a little too overly aggressive. Gotta put some respect on Banana with that Benedetta. I mean, he's a Benedetta main so far, at least for the game of futures, for how well he's been executing. But I will say, Kidbamba, another up-and-coming prospect in the XP lane, can definitely give him a little bit of a challenge. But you are going to see the other death on the other side of the table.
Jangan lupa like dulu guys yang udah datang ya.
Who did pick up the assist? The kill went to Magister. That is the.
Oke, kita lihat guys.
Going to put him a little bit ahead of Irad in terms of these rotations and farm.
Oh, looking at the emblems here too for both sides.
Banana harus mundur dulu.
A lot of those quantum charges coming out from Banana and Bruce.
Banana. Kemarin perasaan nama Banana berubah deh guys. Ini kenapa jadi Banana namanya? Kemarin main Banana perasaan. Wait.
I think that we've seen in other teams too. Pressure out the XP lanes so that they can have this really good position when it comes to these turtle fights.
Oke. Kartel udah dirusuh, tangkat, irit lagi guys. Salah gua. Udah lihat tag gua di TikTok belum? Yang mana yang baju jaket RRQ yang baru? Gua mau beli situ cuman sudah sold out. Gua pengen sih guys beli jaketnya, keren. Oke, Brusco belum level 4 ya guys ya. GG. Pakai skin lipai. Oke, Banana harus hati-hati guys. Oke, Matilda langsung aja, siapa diajar Matilda? Oh, nggak ada. Banana udah masuk sendirian. Terlalu jauh coba Banananya. Tapi sendirian guys. Gila, Faramis langsung nge-backup. Nice banget, Faramis dimakan. Nggak mati cuy. GG. Midnya nih Okta, ini pemain MDL yang baru ya guys.
Yeah, definitely a better trade there. Let's take a look at the replay. What actually went down
mati
was
nggak tuh?
Banana goes in for the electro final blow.
Awas. Oh, ini tadi replay ya? GG sih ini mati. Deusvult ini tim dari mana ya guys? Negara apa ya guys? Gue nggak tahu cuy. Skylar sakit banget cok. Keangkat tuh dapat 2. Novaria, GG masih bisa diselamatkan ya guys ya Nathannya. Kalau Novarianya udah kamehameha tuh. Itu orang PH sih yang negara punya lah. Oh ini PH, Deusvult ini orang anak PH. GG. Oh Rusia. Oh ini lawan tuan rumah ya guys ya. Rusia emang bisa jago main ML-nya Rusia guys.
If both teams can scale, so I would say needing to kind of put some pressure in the gold lane would be a really good start for either side if they want to try and take advantage, at least for the early game, and have mid control.
Yeah, there's a lot of potential here too for split pushes coming
out. Oke, kita lihat. Hati-hati. Dimakan. Dinjak. Mati. Nice. GG Irat. Kita akhirnya punya jungle yang kuat gitu guys, yang baik dari segi hero-hero tank sama assassin guys. Ini RRQ ini kalau punya 2 hero kayak gini sih harusnya bisa juara sih guys MPL season 13. Berarti Clay ini kalah ya sama Okta ya guys. Yang dipakai Okta loh. Clay nggak kepake ya udah.
We actually see the Claude here. Hiko actually picking up the corrosion side, and for Nathan, it's a very early pickup on
kita lihat.
penetration boost. So he actually wants to go in for that.
Maksudnya Persik nggak jago, kalah lah kalau sama Irat. Kalau memang jago nggak mungkin cari hyper baru coy. Gila Pak, itu Barat di Dijagain sama makan lagi. Tinjak. Mati nggak tuh banana gas? Wih, Skyratnya Ruby tuh. One hit banana. Banana. GG casternya orang Inggris, guys. Oke, hati-hati guys. Itu tuh martisnya. Seret, matiin. Nice. It's banana. Lucu guys casternya guys. Senang gua dengarnya. Banana. Wah, mati Rat sendirian coy. Cover. Nice. Nice banget. Damage-nya Okta. Dia sendirian dong Okta. Tapi damage-nya belum ada yang bisa bunuh Okta guys. Nice, kayaknya bakal game yang mudah ya guys ya. Emang kalau orang Inggris gitu ngomongnya sih, iya coy. Paham gua. Wih, keangkat cuy. Wih. Tarik. Nah, kena. Mati itu. Ih, nggak ada damage guys. Nathan, let Nathan di sana. Skylar, Purify semua guys ya. Skylar Purify. Novaria Purify. RRQ 3 sampai Purify-nya buat ngelawan si Winnifer.
The space that is being given here right now. Look at all the creeps. It's being taken away here by RRQ Oshi up.
GG dapat Nova babnya.
That has been picked off twice already in this game.
Yeah, RRQ Oshi just way quicker to these objectives.
Itu kenapa itu Skylar? Nice Skylar. Ini sih kayaknya bakal jadi game yang mudah sih buat RRQ guys.
5-2 on the scoreboard and now up by 4,000 gold. You did see Irad pick up the blade armor too, already prepping for Hiko as he gets a couple more items such as that golden staff to deal with some basic attacks, but Magister rushing in.
Keangkat 2. Free play. Ya, nggak ada free play ya. Okta nggak ada free play guys. Nathan. Wih, nge-lag Mati GG coy Skylar. Wah, ini Nathan kalau udah dikasih makan kayak gini sih guys, luar biasa sih guys. Bruskonya sekarat itu cuman bisa menyelamatkan Irat, tapi GG si Iratnya masih bisa diselamatin guys. Skylar harus mundur dulu. Ini Nathan damage-nya udah ngeri banget sih. Skylar-nya udah sakit banget guys. Wah. Irat, retry lu kan? Gua percaya sama retry lu. Brusko mati tuh. Aduh, keangkat lagi.
Good saves from Brusco so far.
Balik.
I guess we're seeing why it's the most banned hero a Game of Futures 2024. I mean, just look how well he's executing on keeping his team alive, not only providing the escapes, but providing the shields when necessary to negate the damage.
Wow, look at the gold here of Banana, 6,370, a whole lot more than what Kin Bomba has.
Ini playernya mainnya di Rusia ya guys ya. Gua tuh karena nggak dikasih lihat guys playernya. Wah, ketarik Irat, mati Irat. Nggak bisa guys. Skylar harus hati-hati Skylar.
For the price of taking in the turrets here,
it's
still going to be useful finding something out of that one.
It's funny you were talking about Banana's gold. He even had more gold than Hiko, and he's in the gold.
Awas.
That just shows you how well Banana is performing today. As you are going to go ahead and see the Lord take the tier 2 turret on the bot side. The map opening up for the side of RQ Hoshi, claiming majority of the real estate for Deusvult so far, having a hard time responding, and now down by 5,000 gold.
Harus balik guys.
It's a tie between Skylar and Banana, a battle from the side lane.
Skylar and Banana
against Team Logan. They had a hard time just beating them on the one-on-one matchups in the side lanes, and this is where RRQ Hoshi thrives. You're able to see Skylar often be able to beat his opponent in that lane, and the same thing with Banana running the Benedetta, able to out-rotate.
Mainnya di Rusia ya, maksud gua nggak dilihatkan stats mereka. Wih. Oke. Awas, gila. Oke, banana. Keangkat dia.
No, but Irad right in the middle of everything. Sawo does not have that setup just yet. Irad can pretty much tank up any of the damage being tossed out here by Deusvult. 10 minutes in, RRQ Hoshi with a 32k lead, and of course the real estate is really pricey these days, and something that RRQ Hoshi definitely has in this game. Not only that, they can also get all the resources around the map. Deusvult not able to take anything in as of the moment, and 30 seconds in, we're gonna be seeing the first Slaughter Gate spawn in the land of Dawn. As for Deusvult, they really need to have these nice setups coming out from Kid Bomba or Sawo here.
Kalau lihat Kin Bomba, keinget Geek jari tengah. GG.
Which is kind of like everybody's health is all the way back up to full, so pretty much nullifies what the setups are doing. But what they really need right now is gonna be the Blazing Duet coming out from Hiko. I saw that he actually picked up the Demon Hunter sword.
Harus hati-hati.
Golden Staff for his next item, so he should be able to dish a great amount of damage once it at least reaches the 50 mark of the game. But RRQ Hoshi is not letting up. They're gonna be taking the score without any contest at all from Deusvult.
And Deusvult needs to watch out for Skylar. He's already 2,000 gold ahead of Hiko. I mean, you've seen how fast he shredded down that Lord, and that's just kind of a little bit of a preview on what he's going to be able to do if it comes to these 5v5 engagements if Deusvult is not careful. Now, they need to find a way to turn this around, right? It's not too far out of the ballpark yet. They have a chance to turn this game in their favor, but they may have to start playing for the late game. I mean, you're seeing this Lord crash in.
Hati-hati, gas. Brusko, nice. Oke, Sawonya masih bisa. Gila. Mati ya tuh. Makan. Injak, matiin. Sakitnya.
Two members down for Deusvult, and the base has been cracked open. RRQ Hoshi completely dominating this last 12 minutes.
Mati.
Oh, it's only Sunset Lover. Sawo and Hiko left to defend. Can they make it? There's a lot of minions coming in here, crashing in the base.
Enggak sih guys. Wih, rubinya. Tapi ada Faramis coy. Mati, nice banana. Bisa end gak sih? Nggak bisa end gak guys? Balik guys, RRQ guys, nggak mau kesalahan ya? Atau nyari bapak aja? Bruskonya masuk lagi guys. Wah, makannya lepas. Martis imun. Martisnya imun guys. Nggak bisa. Masih bisa survive. Rusia ya guys ya. Habis nonton ini ngapain Sen? MC.
Deusvult's definitely need to find a way to turn this around.
11.3k for Skylar here, and Hiko standing at 9,000. Yes, he does have the core items here of the Claude, but the timing here of the Netherrealm too is something that they have to watch out for, not to mention the free hits here of Skylar, who hasn't been shut down just yet. 401 rather on the Nathan. 45 seconds in, one more Lord here could actually be it here for the side of Deusvult. They got the Nathan here. They got the Barrets to take everything up, not to mention the shields that Brusko have been providing. Irad has already picked up that immortality, so kind of gearing up for that final fight here up against Deusvult.
Keangkat guys. Matiin. Wah, mati guys.
Making the most out of the Guinevere with engage and disengage from that spatial migration. But now, look at RRQ Hoshi already on to the next objective. They've been doing this entire game.
Lot 6 detik. Lane atas sudah jauh. Ini RRQ harusnya bisa dapat gampang nih guys. Lordnya bakal dikontes sama Rusia, Hyper Rusia. Martis udah mulai dekat juga. Brusko diajar. Banana sih sendirian banana. Banana dapat tuh. Lepas kemana banana? Claude-nya udah ulti. Claude udah ulti. Nah, Claude nggak ada ulti. Banana bisa nge-push tuh guys. Banana split. Enggak. Mancing aja guys. Lah ini free load buat RRQ ya guys ya. Oke, free load buat RRQ, nice. Cloudnya mirip-mirip sama lu sih. Gua apa Fantatik? Kayaknya mirip Fantatik sih Nir. Nir lagi kur. Lebih mirip Fantatik.
For the side of RRQ Hoshi, it's almost an 11k lead for the Kingdom, and they're looking to take in this first game up against Deusvult. Here comes the Lord.
Hati-hati ya guys ya, harus hati-hati.
The only thing here for Deusvult to do is to have that setup, but right now the mobility, the shields that are being provided here by Busto is not something that they can easily deal with. Here comes the setup from the side of Sawo, but
makan. Lala, nice. Nice. Kelas. Nathan udah damage-nya masuk gitu gimana, coy? Viva RRQ.
My goodness, what a show.
Gila. Sakit walai. Mantep nih menang. Jelas guys.
Like they got that Matilda, which is actually one of the top picks right now, and you can understand why these teams have been banning it away. You see the shields that were provided, and not to mention RRQ Hoshi had that Netherrealm from that Faramis, so every single fight here from RRQ Hoshi, they are sure that they can come out alive. Deusvult had some nice tugs there from Kid Bomba, some setups here from Sawo. There was the Purify, there's the Netherrealm, so there was just so many things.
Jadi kita ceritanya lagi caster bertiga guys.
Go for the setup plays.
My ground was shaking beneath me. I feel like there's an earthquake going on in Indonesia with how well.
Yes. I know.
Just some flawless execution, right? If we just start from the very beginning, they were laser focused on every single objective. They took every turret, every lord, rotated around the map. Both side laners, Skylar and Banana, their capability on what they provide in the side lanes just as a solo individual is scaling over majority of the teams that they have faced so far in the Futures 2024. Deusvult needs to find a way to win in the side lanes first if they want to turn this around. We saw Kid Bomba
3 host ya adik-adik.
One matchup up against Banana in like the first minute and 20 seconds, and not just on any hero. This was on a Ruby. That's the most sustainable hero in the XP lane. You definitely have to play it a little bit better if you're gonna have a chance to turn this around and even out the series.
Yeah, the thing about that XP lane matchup earlier, both were really good picks coming out from both RRQ and Deusvult, right? Like the thing that Banana actually
ngomong apa Bang Sen itu nggak paham lu. Paham katanya Banana terlalu jago. Terus si Nathan juga scalar. Damage-nya udah nggak bisa ditahan. RRQ terlalu kuat. NXP-nya terlalu sering namanya guys, makronya jalan gitu. Pokoknya RRQ the best lah dia ngomong guys. Dan dia yakin RRQ memang tim paling kuat di Indonesia dia bilang.
Yeah, and we didn't really get to see Kid Bomba really open up these engagements, especially with the Ruby. You have the I'm offended. Your team's kind of waiting for you to get that initial setup so they can punish. But oftentimes, he wasn't grabbing the right targets, right? We've seen him grab the Matilda out of everybody. And I mean, that's the last person you want to grab. It's just going to guiding win right out of there or use the circling eagle to safety. And then you don't have the setup potential.
Apa bisa diterima? Bisa lah diterima ya kan? Gue ngomong sesuai fakta aja gitu.
From the side of RQ Hoshi. For game number 1, as we are going to
harusnya gue hilang guys kalau dia ngomong gitu, gue hilang gitu kan. Casternya hilang. Casternya hilang. Sakit banget cuy. Sawo.
Yeah, the thing here too about the Deusvult and RRQ Hoshi's team fights here is not only do they have shields, not only do they have the Netherrealm, but Sawo really had a hard time setting up the plays here, right? Like it was only possibly up to Kid Bomba to make in the plays.
Kim Bomba. Kim Bomba.
That's 3 purifies from their side, so you can imagine the frustration too of Sawo. Like he gets a nice 3-man knockup, but having the purify in, there's really
GG Sen, jago banget. Artiin bahasa Inggris, belajar dari Bang Sen aja lah gua. Yoi. Kalau belajar bahasa Inggris sama yang ahlinya guys, sama gua.
All because of the nether realm, all because of that guiding wind from the Matilda. And we did mention it was going to be an all-out brawl here for both sides, right? Looking at their team composition, this was just screaming team fights after team fights, and RRQ Hoshi definitely did that so well. I have to commend Banana here on the early game. He gave so much space here for Skylar to be able to scale up on his lane, and by the time like Skylar was activated, Deusvult really didn't have the answers to that. A lot of the zoning has happened here in the Lord Pit. You see how Banana was actually zoning in the back lines for Iran to actually take in the major objective versus the Lord. A lot of ultimate.
RRQ mantap, iyalah Bang Pais. RRQ terlalu kuat coy.
Deusvult was not enough. The sustainability was way too heavy here for them to take. And even with the really good setups, without the
MVP Nathan ya lah, damage-nya Nathan ini sekarang OP banget sih guys. Terus dia itemnya magic gitu. Gimana cara ngelawan magic? Kalau WON pasti nggak bisa kan? Winter kayaknya kalau RRQ itu, kalau misalnya dia MM ketemu sama Nathan gini harus winter kayaknya guys. Karena WON nggak kuat. Arlot Yuki 3 gua ban lah.
The glue holding the pages together.
Caranya pakai radian.
He was running on that Faramis, and it wasn't given a lot of credit to him keeping the team alive.
Gak kuat juga kayaknya Bang Pais mau radian kah? Nathan terlalu kuat coy. Late gamenya tuh. Damage-nya terlalu menyakitkan adik-adik. Oke, kita lihat di sini siapa nih MVP. Siapa yang dukung RRQ komen ya, pasti RRQ lah. Walaupun gue nggak bikin pollingnya pasti RRQ lah kalian ya kan. Jir kayu. Kayu cowok fantastik. Cloud fantastik atau Cloud Diamo lah. Kayaknya ini Cloud Diamo nih guys.
Super sustainable to the point that even with the blazing the wet here of Hiko, there's really nothing.
Itu kalau Samsung ganti namanya pasti MVP jelas. Jelas, jangan ditanya coy. Susu aja.
Skylar had that purify, Sawo couldn't take him down. Hiko also had to take into consideration that Banana was actually trying to take him down too in the back lines, and Sunset Lover too. Even with the vision that he was providing, RRQ Hoshi
lama ya guys ya komentatornya ngomong. Langsung aja game kedua gitu.
The double support method that still worked out really well, and at this point the Faramis also built it to be like a magic damage Faramis, right? Getting that cult altar up, and to think about it, if I'm the one playing the Faramis, right, like clicking that ultimate is gonna be so vital. Like you have to know when to click it, you have to know when to time it too, and that's actually what RRQ Hoshi did so well here in this match. The timing of the ultimates and the team fights.
FIFA RRQ, FIFA RRQ.
Yeah, and you know when it came to the draft, you know,
ini mah terlalu sakit guys.
Walk into that, right? I mean, there was so much CC that he could have profited on, especially with the Guinevere and Sunset Lever on that Devaria. That's just like a well synergized combo. The Ruby's great too. I do think it can kind of, the Ruby's one of those heroes that can fit in pretty much any draft. But I just feel like the Arlot could have kind of profited a little bit more.
Ini kemarin Deusvult ini yang lawan Geek Farm itu ya.
Lost all of the objectives in the early phase. RQ Hoshi, eyes on the prize, laser focus.
Tim Rusia yang ikut M series ya guys ya. Sama sana apa nonton TV nih ya. Kamu sini ya. Makanya sana apa nonton TV.
If wants a way to turn this around, they have to first start off by being patient inside of the side lanes. You cannot overextend. You know Skylar is gonna beat you in that gold lane.
Tapi dia ya guys ya, maksud casternya tuh nggak ada statsnya, nggak dikasih lihat. Statsnya nggak dikasih lihat, terus casternya kayak di rumah aja gitu. Kayak nggak ada event turnamen di Rusia yang di satu tempat gitu kan, terus ada kayak Dota gitu guys misalnya. Ini enggak loh guys, kayak gini aja dia. Malah hadiahnya lebih besar daripada M series kan? Hadiahnya lebih besar padahal.
There's really nothing to worry about. Even if you do those turret dives that we've seen several times in that game. I mean, I would have been scared to take those turret dives, but you know, with the Matilda, with the Faramis, there's really nothing much to fear. And RRQ understood that every single team fight, they commit to it and they execute it really well. And for Deusvult, they tried to get into those setups, but again, the purifiers are such a new assault.
Allah, antuknya ya Allah.
The Nether Realm and the shields being provided by the guiding wind, it's way too much to handle there for all the team fights that Deusvult wanted.
Konten mukbang kapan?
Keep in mind, guys.
GG Bang Pais mau nonton konten mukbang gua.
Nobody's getting knocked out here. This is just a battle of placement in the playoffs. Whoever loses this series will go to stage 1, and you'll be seeing them compete first, which means they have an easier chance of being knocked out because they're not as high on the bracket as whoever wins this winner's match. So far, RQ Hoshi does have the slightest advantage. They are up 1-0. This is match point. They have a chance to get a sweep over Deusvult, but this is Deusvult we're talking about, right? They placed 4th inside of M5 for a reason, taking on a lot of heavy contenders and taking the world by a storm. We just got to find a way for them to get alive in the early game. Like I said, I don't like seeing one-sided stories. I want to see this go to a game 3. I'd love to see matches that kind of keep
main bro sambil nunggu.
I think they are a team that could potentially do this.
Janganlah.
Yeah, for RRQ Hoshi.
Lama kayak emang guys, paling bentar aja kan 2 gamenya.
2-1 coming out from this BO3, right? And Deusvult was considered one of the dark horses.
Kita ngobrol-ngobrol aja dulu guys.
So I think coming in here, it is gonna be really interesting too to see how Deusvult will kind of take this back to the driver's seat, back to their team. And for RRQ Hoshi, right, if they want to take this entire thing, let's see what kind of adjustments that Deusvult will make ultimately in the next game. And as for RRQ Hoshi, I think
lu mau mukbang heng gak sing? Heng heng.
Yeah, it's definitely gonna be crucial. I want to see which way it goes. Like I said, this match, I anticipated it being the best one out of the entire group stage. But honestly, I mean, I really enjoyed the last one with Nico and Bebex just as much. But I want to see Deusvult turn this around.
Kayak sering ngomong gua ngantuk guys. Gak ada yang lain apa yang bisa dibahas sama casternya ini. Ngantuk gua, Cok.
I guess you say the same thing because they did not compete in the M series, but they are from one of the best prospective regions in Indonesia. So we are going to be going to a
Indonesia show
real quick before we pan into the next round. So guys,
Indonesia show.
See you guys in a little bit, but make sure you guys check out the next match.
Apa Cok disuruhnya? Oh, contoh copyright ini guys. Apa ini coy? The game of future. Ini apa ini dia?
Oh, I am really scary, but this is the scent of the wind too. You know why? You know why? Because today is the group stage, and let's go find out how it's going on. Еще! With who you gonna play today?
With Devil.
Are they strong?
Yeah, strong. They are strong.
Are you scared of them?
No.
Are you scary?
Why? We will try our best to beat them.
Хороший оппонент.
Хороший оппонент.
Да, кто лучше задрафтит, тот выиграет.
Там 40 секунд, это уже не задемы.
Не задемы.
No. Are you scary? No. Nobody?
But called yes.
Yeah. Called yes. Yeah. Can I show? Can I show? Yeah. Look at
Sans.
this. Oh. Is she a hero from the MLBB? No.
My girlfriend.
Your girlfriend? Oh.
GG pamer pacarnya Sans. Apa nonton TV kah?
Apa? Lagi apa?
He's focused on the game.
Game apa?
He don't listen to me.
Game apa?
Она для чего?
Apa sih?
Lagi apa?
Nggak ada, habis sudah.
Ну, не знаю.
Ih, papa nggak bagi.
Да. Посмотрите, как у него кресло напущено. Это для того, чтобы резко лечь, быстренько поспать и снова в игру.
Pa, kamu ke Lagi sih. Lagi rankingnya.
How your day is going on?
We're just watching some games. You know, this is the group that we're playing in.
Nah,
So I think
makanya.
we're getting some ideas from how they're playing, and then you know we'll be playing against homeboys later on in a few minutes actually. So I think we're pretty much set.
Rankingnya udah habis.
Какую бы суперсилу хотел бы изыграть?
А я гляну героев.
Так, я вижу Пикачу.
Pikachu lagi.
I just want Link Superpower. Link.
Link Super Brawl.
Yeah. Then I want to jump everywhere.
Jump everywhere. So you can
Jump
try and
everywhere.
hide and seek some girls.
Of course.
Thing like Paquito.
Paquito.
Pakita.
Punch everyone.
Everyone.
Yeah.
So you wanna punch everyone?
Yeah.
Oh my god, I'm scared of you.
Я бы хотел телепортацию.
Телепортацию?
Да.
Scary of you. GG si Boots mau punch everyone guys, pukul semua orang.
Нет, зачем мне эти банки? Я бы не летал на этих самолетах по 2 часов.
Нет, да? You're telling me that you are missing your girlfriend because we are filming? Because she can
I actually do. But if I find this video anywhere, I'll probably send her.
А вот это вообще не кстати потеря. А зачем? А как? Почему?
Ну что ж, дорогие друзья, мы с вами все наблюдали за групповыми этапами. Было вайбово, было тепло, было очень круто. Ну, а результаты вы сами все можете увидеть на своих экранах.
And we are back. Welcome back to Group A Round 2 after that amazing intermission video. Now, let's just kind of talk about what we've seen so far. We're currently on the winners match for Group Stage A. We got to see RRQ host you go up against Deusvult.
Bantai sih, apa yang dibantai kocak? Kita cuma nonton RRQ main, apa yang mau dibantai?
One-sided match. Able to take control in the side lanes.
Ngantuk gua sen sama, cok, ngantuk gua.
Paving the way for Indonesia so far.
Yeah. RRQ host
Terlalu banyak bla 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 and bla 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 bla.
Against Deusvult, but yeah, the thing here is Deusvult is gonna have that first pick. Matilda might actually right on cue. Matilda will be bad out. Just
Takkan pernah.
Before I even say it, they actually do it. It seems to be a thing. Even with my cast with Private yesterday, we were just talking about the Nana, and then it pops into the trap. Deusvult, this is understandable. This is one of their top man heroes too. And I think you wouldn't want to give that advantage to Irad that can really rock those early game heroes, those burst types, those glass cannon types of heroes. So Nolan is not really seen so much currently in the meta, but it's still, I would say, a choice that you can pick up if you want to go for that early game snowball. RRQ Hoshi definitely has that potential. Right now, we're looking at the bans on a Guinevere, or perhaps maybe even someone wants to take out the Ruby, but it is the most picked, right? So someone either going to take or ban it, but as of the moment, right, there's so many things that you can still take out. The Fanny being respected here too. Deusvult just locking in their target right now, and it seems to be Urad as of the moment.
And the way this is looking, I mean, usually with RRQ Hoshi having second pick, I think they're going to try and get the CC. I don't see them banning it out. I think they're going to try and bait Deusvult. I don't think they're going to expect Deusvult to pick it up. So I think they'll try and get the CC here. And then maybe since they don't have the Mathilda, go for like some single target CC. It seems like that's their plan. Grab the CC and then go for like a Kaja. Or we've seen them run the Cho before too in this type of situation, the way the draft played out. And they may actually be able to pull it off. I wonder if these folks will pick up the CC if it is available. That has been one of those heroes everybody was wondering, is it meta? Is it not? But after seeing Game of Futures in day one, I can definitely tell you it is. So you are going to go ahead and see the R-Lot taken off the side of RRQ Hoshi. One more ban on the way before we have our first pick. Now, Guinevere is still an available option. We've been seeing a lot of teams first pick the Ruby. The Barat has been first picked a lot too. I mean, these are all some strong pickups, but if it comes down to it, I'm willing to bet RRQ Hoshi picks up the CC.
Sudah drop guys.
Even the R-Lot here that is
yang di ban
pick for all of the teams here. It has great CC. It can be on the XP. Pretty much a very flexible
yang
pick.
di ban siapa itu?
The Joy 2 that is pretty much like the Nolan. Once it gets scaled up in the early game, it is going to be really an unstoppable force. And if you don't have those suppression, you can't really deal with that. Right now, Deusvult, They can pick up the Guinevere. They can pick up the Ruby. These CC heavy heroes for their first pick. The Matilda's already out, so maybe they can go with the safe pick, or maybe
Joy, Arlot, Matilda, Banana langsung di ban ya guys. Kak Fanny, Nolan. Siapa yang akan di-pick? Ini pick hero dulu atau langsung ban semua dulu ya guys ya? Jadi bos sudah ban tapi kayak detik-detik nge-pick hero-nya nggak diliatin gitu.
Especially stacked up, like I said, with that Kaja. But Deusvult kind of plays similar to them. I wonder if they go for that, though. Or, I mean, you could go for the Barats, like we mentioned. It's been such a strong pickup. Pair it with a support. I mean, the Faramis is on the table. You still got
Ruby.
No, they're gonna go in for the Ruby.
First pick-nya langsung Ruby ya guys ya.
So we gotta have to see how RRQ Hoshi responds.
Yeah, the Benedetta ban coming through too for Deusvult that really made it hard, right? Earlier for Kid Bomba and the Benedetta.
Kid Bomba.
With the Matilda in the first game, all two of those heroes are out. Now RRQ Hoshi can still go for. I was thinking of like
Cici dan Guinevere yang langsung diamankan oleh RRQ ya guys ya.
And RRQ Hoshi just got these two very stacked picked up for themselves.
Cici XP, berarti dipakai banana. Brusko kemungkinan bakal pakai Guinevere ya guys ya. Berarti Guinevere memang ke arah roamer ya.
Team fights. I think this is what I see for both sides. They want to have these team fights, and Deusvult right now they might want to consider going for the Nobar.
Hero-hero kayak Minotaur nggak kepake loh guys di turnamen kayak gini ya.
Now I'm curious if RRQ Hoshi will go in for the Faramis here. I mean, it would provide a lot of.
Kalau di rank gue disuruh mino terus guys.
I think it would be a strong pickup, and then maybe later in the draft they pick up a single target CC like a Kaja or a Cho, because they already have some major things checked off the board. They have great crowd control from CC and also Guinevere already, and disengage from both of these heroes. So if they add a Faramis to the table, they can
sekarang spam Ruby.
Stack that up with some single target CC like some suppression from the Kaja. And that's a really well calculated draft, I would say, for RRQ Hoshi if they do pull that off. But they may force out the
iya sekarang spamnya Ruby malah yang dipakai guys.
That's a smart decision because like I said, I would see them taking up that suppression if they didn't, but I wonder if RRQ Hoshi is even worried about it or not. Will they go in for the Diggy? It seems like Deusvult is trying to bait them into doing this, especially picking that up when they still have another pick before the bans start. And is it worth going for? I feel like they could do it though, because they have the Guinevere with the CC, but no, they're going to go in for their mage pickup instead. They see the frontline composition forming, right? You have the Minotaur and you have the Ruby, and what better way to burst them down than to getting Gloom with this Lilia, one of the best early game mages available.
Yeah, I mean, in terms of the range, you definitely have to give it to the Novaria, but for the Lilia, it can clear out the waves so fast. I like that this is going to be the answer to these heroes that are pretty much melee, right? Like the Minotaur, the Ruby.
Lilia, Minotaur dipakai guys, gue baru sebutin. Ternyata Minotaur masih dipakai ya guys ya.
They can totally do that, but
gue kira Mino nggak bakal dipakai.
Is it going to be in the XP lane, or is it going to be in the jungler role, or is the CC going to be the jungler role, or is it going to be in the XP lane? That's going to be a big thing that they have to consider too, like the overall picture of their lineup. They take away some of the gold laners here. Both sides still don't have any gold laners just yet, so they take away the Iksha. That is also really good, right? Like you got these heavy frontline composition, then you pair it with the Iksha. That is a lot of range, like the Novaria and then the Iksha. It's going to be so good in team fights. So I like this ban coming out from RRQ.
You know, and it's funny too, because normally you would see teams pick up the Diggy to respond back to that in that position, but it just shows you how comfortable and confident RRQ Hoshi is not to go for that direct counter, but to try and work through a Minoan Fury. Now they do have engage and disengage. I guess technically you have, if you run the Purify on the Lilia and then you use the black shoes, then you can pretty much go back to safety.
Lama banget ya, kok nggak ada detiknya gitu dilihatkan. Jadi kita nggak bisa nunggu guys kapan pick hero-nya gitu. Detiknya nggak dikasih lihat. Aneh juga ini anunya.
One of the most mobile XP laners so far. So all of them good answers in terms of disengaging.
Penyelenggaranya agak lain guys.
But
Simple banget. Cuma artis yang di ban sama si Ilya, Nathan di ban. Claudia masih kebuka lebar sih berarti guys. Cloud masih kebuka lebar untuk Claudia.
He really loves playing the backline mage. Like he likes going in for these Navarias that can fight from afar, use the Astral Echo, provide even more slow, and deal some massive damage to the team. Now the Arlot is banned out. I would have loved to see the Arlot on the Deusvult combination here. I think it would have been great, but they already have the Ruby anyway, so it wouldn't have really worked out. So I would say there's just a lot of crowd control. We need more damage though. We need to see some massive damage from the side of Deusvult. I would say in the early game and kind of late game, technically.
A late game, Claude. Yeah, I think Claude will be either picked up here by RRQ Hoshi, but looking at Deusvult here, like both haven't picked up their gold laners. They take away the Fredrin too because they're anticipating that they haven't. This might actually just be an XP lane CC, and then you got the Guinevere on the roam position. They might go for the Barretts. I'm not so sure this time. It can still pretty much be a pickup here for Irad, or maybe you can go for something surprising, like maybe an assassin here. But you know, in a CC heavy type of composition, it wouldn't really be good to pick that up. Deusvult still needs their gold lane. I think the Claude might be picked up here by Deusvult once again. I mean, it's mobile. It's really good when it comes to the laning phase, right? It's BMI can escape any clash, and Deusvult here has a very good setup place. Ruby, they got the Minotaur too, and now Irad. What's it gonna be for them? Deusvult is really taking their time to pick up their heroes here. Maybe pick up Barretts here for this side, but they gotta carry for the side of RRQ Hoshi, so it's not gonna be easy. But I guess, you know, they want that heavy front line so that their backliners like, you know, Sunset Lover, Hiko can shine here. So insane amount of burst here from the Claude, and then the vision from the Novaria. I like this lineup coming out from Deusvult.
Gigi lama banget cow, drop aja lama. Kari, Dirot, wih, hyper Dirot ya guys ya, luar biasa.
I mean, it's some great burst potential, especially up against a beefier composition. There's a lot of frontline composition for Deusvult. The Ruby, the Barretts, the Minotaur, all of them able to provide that frontline presence. But the Dairoth, he loves taking it up close and personal, and I think it's a really good decision from the side of RRQ Hoshi if they can execute it. But speaking of execution, guys, we are inside of Group A Round 2 in the winners match currently, looking at Deusvult up against RRQ Hoshi. This is a possible game set 2-0 sweep in the making for RRQ Hoshi if they play their cards right, and we'll be able to move on to stage 2 in the playoffs. Or will we see Deusvult take the world?
Oke, akhirnya guys, mulai juga coy yang gue tunggu-tunggu. Kayak pada dengar komentator bahasa Inggris, gue ngerti ngomong apa deh guys.
Able to even out this series 1-1 as we go through the tunnels of the virtual arena into the land of Dawn. We go.
Oke, lanjut di land of Dawn ya guys ya.
Who will claim victorious?
Yeah, I wish we had that virtual tunnel.
Oke. Wih, ini skinnya Mino yang apa nih guys? Samurai ya? Irad main hyper Dairot ya guys ya. Oke, kita lihat Banana. Banana.
Here to, you know, pick off Sunset Lover and Hiko, and just as I was saying that, there's the Purifies coming out from Sunset Lover and Hiko just to make sure that they don't get caught up in the setups here by Brusco, and even to a point the zoning here from Banana will be a problem here. So for RRQ Hoshi, their winning condition here is to take down the back lines once this scales up. As for Deusvult, they have this good early game too that can go
Gigi, gue ngantuk banget guys.
RRQ Hoshi right now. We don't have first blood just yet, but all these players have been poking.
Kenapa ya kalau nonton RRQ itu gue ngantuk ya guys ya? Karena lawannya nggak. Brusco selalu ya guys ya menjadi makanan first blood guys. Tadi gitu juga guys. Dua RRQ. Irad sendirian lu Rad. Gigi kuat banget mereka.
Neither side will fall in that engagement. Deusvult though, like you said, claiming
lawannya nggak seru. Iya Bang Pais, lawannya kurang. Tapi nggak tahu sih bisa ngelawan nggak kira-kira guys.
And then also one Brave Smite for the side of Deusvult. So they're playing very sustainable and frontline oriented. And then you can say the same thing for RRQ Hoshi, except it's a little bit of a flip.
Ini karinya kari tank nggak? Oh enggak. Kalau Skylar mainnya kari damage ya guys ya. Nggak mengenal apa itu namanya kari keras guys. Yang ada tuh kari damage.
Wow, Skylar is doing a really good job poking at Hiko here, making sure that he stays under your turret. And now,
Wah, turtle-nya Irat.
Banana gonna be forced to use in that.
Oke, sudah ngumpul semua. GG. GG. Makan, nice. Irat. Wih. Sana.
It is gonna be just a projection of him.
Weh, Kim Bomba. Gak mati gak Kim Bomba itu. GG, RRQ Okta gak dilihat loh sama Sawo. Oh, tapi Iratnya dapat dia ya. Iratnya dikejarnya, guys. GG rasisnya kau Nir. GG Irat diincarnya, guys.
I don't really feel like that worked out in their favor like they planned it to.
Oke. Kari nampaknya Scalar tercuri di sana ke Solo ya, guys ya. Dia kena Novaria tadi, guys, langsung sekarat.
This is exactly why you need to take it down. You need to take down Sunset Lover, and that's the thing. This is the mission for Brusco and Banana and even Irad here to take down the back lines. And so far, Deusvult has been keeping up here with RRQ.
Angkat. Purify-nya nggak dipakai. Oke, mungkin Niko-nya percaya kalau damage-nya masih bisa ditahan ya, guys ya. Wih, sekarat langsung coy. Bahayanya Kamehamehanya. Ini namanya fakta, Seng.
Everybody from Deusvult except for Kelengkapan so far getting a piece of the pie. They all have 1 kill. Spread across the board so far, 4-2, leading by 2 kills overall, but only down by 400 gold. RRQ Hoshi still maintaining the gold despite the kill difference, as they were able to take that turtle in that first engagement. Now, Hiko was able to get the first kill over onto Skylar. Normally you see Skylar have the advantage in the gold lane compared to most marksmans, and I would say Deusvult is up to a good start. Now, the question is, can they maintain their slight lead, or do we see RRQ Hoshi take this turtle?
Itu ketangkap tuh, Kid Bomba. Nangkap Banana, guys.
Yep, you just called it, RRQ Hoshi. Just like that, takes it in with the retribution. I do like the vision being provided here by Sunset Lover, but the way that RRQ Hoshi contained that turtle pit, they aren't able to get in. Like Brusco was there, just waiting in for the setup. Like even the members here at Deusvult, the tank members are gonna have second thoughts before they get it in. Here comes Magic Star with the engage.
Mati. Wih, ulti Minonya, GG cok, kena 3.
That's gonna be Brusco, Irad checking up.
Irad mati, guys. Waduh. GG nih musuhnya nih.
Once again, nice trade-offs there, but it's still gonna be RRQ Hoshi just leading by a 400 gold lead. Let's take a look at that instant replay here.
Kalau Oktanya udah ulti, guys, jadi dia nggak kena, guys. Itu Okta masih ada ulti, guys. Katanya Sunset Lopers, guys. Siapa cok Sunset Lopers GG? Oke, Banana kuat sih, guys. Banana kuat.
Hiko off to a good start, like we said, able to get a kill onto Skylar, may delay the late game for carry. Looking at Irad, not off to the
Awas Banana. Wih, untung aja. Lari Banana. Lu jangan sampai kemakan, coy. GG. Oke, kita lihat di sana Cloud-nya nampaknya akan digas, guys. Cloud Mino ya, guys ya. Oke, di geng. Oke, Okta nice, timing ulti yang pas banget ya, guys ya. Skylar langsung ke towernya aja. Kenapa nggak di hit itu towernya? Kena tuh skill 1. Wah, ada Mino. Kalau gue pasti gas tuh, guys. Kalau gue tadi, guys, gue pasti langsung gas tadi kalau gue. Pas sudah kena skill 1 langsung gue gas tadi tuh. Midnya tim Rusia lah. Kena tuh.
Yo, banana here. You know when the CC is just using that.
Wih, banana GG banana ya adik-adik. Kelas, Irat dapet tuh, mati tuh. Nice. Mati. Flow the ulti. GG fantastic cok loadnya. Ulti. Kok kayak main rank ya? GG.
Objectives after objectives as Deusvult cannot take anything in 2k gold lead, now making that a 3k lead up against Deusvult.
Yeah, and keeping them in the game and also putting Skylar ahead in gold, now above Hiko by 1,000, even though he took a death over him in the early phase. But now with the scoreboard equalized and the economy leading into the favor of RRQ Hoshi, they may
angkat guys. Aduh. Masih selamat ke Kit Bomba, tapi masih di damage shot. GG Alucard. Tapi dimakan Brusco. Scalarnya Blazing Duet from Hiko. Wih di GG Hiko. Blazing Duet. Hajar nggak sih Brusco? Aduh Irat. Aduh dia ngincar itu nggak kena. Yang ada aja. Nah itu maksud gua. Yang ada aja. Nice.
With this CC, a major annoyance so far, harassing Deusvult.
Yeah, this banana hasn't left the jungle side here. Deusvult just making sure that Magister and Sawo are contained while the rest of RRQ.
Tormit, GG banana coy.
Those towers after towers, 2 towers taken in.
Sendirian loh dia itu. Gak digas sama tadi.
Not that much. What RRQ Hoshi has more here is gonna be
terlalu kuat banananya mungkin guys. 303 guys. GG banananya terlalu OP ya guys ya.
For the Lord, and with the space created here by RRQ Hoshi, they should be able to take in this Lord. With Deusvult,
banana, it's OP gaming adik-adik. Mati lagi.
Getting it from Brusco here, as it's gonna be a 2v1 situation with Kid Bomba unable to do anything.
Kid Bomba masih terbully guys. 045 coy. Gak main Kid Bomba.
He does have the corrosion sight, and on top of that, the golden staff. A lot of core items working in this phase.
Makan tuh.
Turret on the top side.
Oh, nice setup there by Sawo.
Banana.
Well, popping in that vengeance. Astral Echo from the backside. Sawo's gonna get chased here by.
Dikejar.
I can't believe that the CC is causing that much damage.
GG coy, itu si Lilia. RRQ Octa.
The glooms coming out from Octa is starting to hurt a lot too. They taking the mid tower right before this first lord, and RRQ Hoshi is gonna look to take this. Is looking to take this lord in. With Deusvult actually backing it away. Brusco.
GG. Kid Bomba kebuli guys. Help me, ada Kid Bomba, help me. Gua kalau jadi Kid Bomba udah stres banget itu aja. Udah pusing kepala gua. Mau ngapain aja mati guys, gerak dikit mati cuy. Kid Bomba. Iratnya udah OP, udah sakit. Kalau hyper di Irat loh bisa menang ya.
RRQ looking stronger than ever, holding that flag for Indonesia. Deusvult now forced on the back end.
Nah, banana. Udah sakit guys. Banana, what are you doing man?
Up against banana. Sawo joining the party, wants a piece of it.
Gigi banana sekarang loh. Dimakan siapa itu? Wah, Ira Brusco. Sakit itu. Karinya udah ngedamage. XP macam apa itu, takut amat. Nggak takut dia, Nir berani malah dia. Digas nih tadi Cloud aja sekarat loh.
Sunset Lover here hasn't been picked off just yet, standing at a 204. So RRQ Hoshi has to kind of respect that too. Like every single time they go for a clash, he got that Astral Echo, and by the time that Sunset Lover will be able to pick in either a Divine Glaive or even those magic damage penetration items, it's gonna be really hard, right? RRQ Hoshi looking to take in the Lord. As long as they can take it, as long as they can take all these major objectives, they should be able to pressure out the lanes here of Deusvult. Map control totally for the side of RRQ. 6 turrets and all the lords, all of the turtles went to the side of RRQ Hoshi. 37k lead for them as Deusvult is holding on for their deal lives to
RRQ.
Yeah, and there's a lot of insurance for the side of RRQ Hoshi, right? You mentioned map control.
Bukan Kit Bomba.
Every single turret still
Oh,
standing.
Kit Bomba.
12 minutes in.
Dia sudah banyak kemakan Nir, jadi nggak berani asal maju Nir. Udah kemakan terus dia asal maju tadi.
But hey, they may be able to turn it around if they play a little bit passively. They're definitely gonna have to play for the late game though. They can't really continue to contest. I mean, the gold is just way out there now, up by 5,000 for the side of RQ Hoshi. You're looking at some of those items on the board.
Ya Allah, ngantuknya gua asli ngantuk banget guys, nggak paham gua.
We are going to see the storm spawning in the next 40 seconds. Sunset Lover.
Apa itu?
Req connects to Octa and will hit Banana. Do they take the fight? Hiko does. Touches in. Chips a little bit of damage on a Banana though. He's not worried about it. This guy's just rotating around with CC.
Udah. Kamu udah ke rumah mana ya? Sudah pas aja.
Yeah, Hiko only has like less than 10,000 here, so that itself, Skylar has managed to pick up all the items that you need. And you know, you mentioned late game. This is definitely gonna go to the carry, right? All these tanky heroes can be melted down, not unless you get that,
Okay, Lord.
two-man setup. The chain CC combination from either Sawo and Kid Bomba here. RQ Hoshi wasting no time, knowing that, respecting the fact too that they have the late game heroes here for the side of Deusvult, knocking up this Lord, 1/4 HP already. For the side of Deusvult, they're waiting for the proper time to come in, but they aren't able to
Terlalu ini ya guys, siapa ya?
some type of play.
Ngantuk wap-wap gua karena gamenya nggak ini. Gamenya kurang menantang guys. RRQ terlalu kuat adik-adik. RRQ terlalu OP guys. RRQ terlalu OP. Apa yang harus kita lakukan kalau RRQ terlalu kuat gini cuy?
Deusvult's going to be able to take is RQ Hoshi very aggressive and winning every single trade. I don't think they've lost a single trade so far. Looking at Kid Bomba, this is the second time he's picked up this Ruby. The last time it wasn't as effective, and it's looking like a repetitive pattern. I mean, he's 0-5-5, highest deaths on this game so far, and hasn't really been able to provide a crucial set with the I'm Offended that Deusvult is kind of relying on. As we are now going to see the Lord make his way down.
Balik, hati-hati.
Here it is. RQ Hoshi knocking in the doors. Brusco once again, but it's sent up onto Magic Store, and Skylar's gonna pick up the kill. Lord is knocking in the base of Deusvult. That Skylar's gonna be chunking in that tower really fast. Inhibitors are gonna be going down here as RQ Hoshi just wasting no time, creating all the pressure on all of the lanes here. Man, this is gonna be really hard. Brusco just setting up the place here for their damage dealers to be able to do the thing, and now here comes Sawo with the setup. And the flickers out and the purifies is gonna nullify all of that, as RQ Hoshi gonna still be pressuring in all of the lanes as Deusvult unable to do anything.
Blazing duet! Blazing duet! Waduh. Wih, gitu dong. Biar ada perlawanan. Nice, Brusco. Kok gue dukung Brusco malah ya aja. Biar gue gak ngantuk matchnya, cah. RRQ maksa sih tadi.
Miscalculation from the side of RRQ Hoshi.
Blunder guys. Blunder. Banana tapi belum mati loh, Banana. Oke, mereka coba paksa untuk hajar tengah. Gak bisa tapi guys.
Wow, this is a 4-man rotation coming in from Deusvult.
Mati. Dar. Nice.
And that is gonna be RQ Hoshi picking up another kill. Turrets are going down one by one. The turrets also exposed here from the side.
Ayo N lah sudah. Udah ada perlawanan, biar perlawanan gitu aja guys. Habis itu defend lagi, berusaha lagi. Aku tinggal kunci Lordnya udah. Ini Lord kedua nih harusnya bisa N nih. Tunggu Lord 18 aja nggak sih itu? Biar evolve. Mereka nunggu momen guys, mereka nunggu momen. Oke, mundur, Lord muncul, langsung Lord aja. Pancing mereka ke Lord.
Yeah, look at how fast Skylar's chucking in that Lord. They should be able to take this one.
Oke, nice.
They're way too
Langsung
far.
N ini nampaknya.
Gonna be sealing the deal once again, taking in the second
Pecah
luminous
nggak tower bawah tuh? Enggak ya?
Yeah, able to claim that Lord, which will put him in a great advantage to possibly be able to close this out. RQ Hoshi, one step away from making it to stage 2 in the playoffs. Deusvult needs to find a way to contest. Can they stop this luminous Lord in the full 5-man team of Viva?
Oke, 3 lane guys. Gimana defense-nya nih? Gimana defense-nya nih guys? Selesai lah kau. Ah, keangkat, ketangkap lagi. Gak ada Fury kah? Iko mal udah ketangkap loh, gak ada yang follow up cok damage-nya. Wih, dapat loh rubinya. Tower nice. Gak bisa end guys. Masih belum bisa nge-end ya. Gila gila. Itu iratnya pakai emblem apa? Item di rotnya apa ya guys? Kayaknya dia bikin lebih tebel deh daripada damage. Kalau gua lihat tuh di rotnya lain di rot damage guys. Bener nggak ya? Soalnya darahnya kayak tebel banget guys. Tolong dong item, gua mau lihat item. Kasih gua item. Wih, sakitnya tuh. GG sakitnya tuh. Ah, keangkat. Furia. Wah, dimakan cok Irat cok. Alin, Irat udah dimakan. Wah, blazing duet from Kid Moba. GG gak ada yang mati, nice. Itu si Banana sendirian ke depan, woi. Pecah lifesteal. Kid Moba mati. Banana mati. Satu guys. Oke. Pantes sepion kenapa kau pakai thumbnail Magic Chase? Gak sempat nih mau bikin thumbnail anjay, gue baru buka komputer RRQ main. Ya udahlah thumbnail ini aja karena habisnya langsung lanjut Magic Chase aja guys. Next lah gue atur thumbnailnya. Gak sempat bikin thumbnail tadi cok.
Sunset Lover has picked up that Blood Wings 2, adding up to the shield and the magic damage it can provide for the team. Low kill scores count actually for both sides, so it is going to be a matter of execution here once it reaches this mid to late game. And RQ Hoshi just going to be positioning themselves here in the Lord Pit, making sure that they take it in before Deusvult. Astral Echo has been committed tier 2. And RQ Hoshi not going to commit anything just
Okay, hati-hati.
And this is the chance they were looking for this entire game. Deusvult may have a shot to even out this series up against RRQ Hoshi. This will all boil down to this play right here inside of the Lord Pit. And you are seeing Irad already pulling the aggro, trying to force the side of Deusvult to engage, but they are playing passive. They are waiting, both sides, looking for a mistake to happen, looking for an opportunity to still play. Just migration, Brusco connected for the knockup, but only catches Sawo. Didn't get what he was looking for. Will disengage. Lord at 50% HP. Debu now having.
Keangkat. Waduh, Brusco-nya ketangkep. Aduh, di roadnya terlalu masuk dalam. Wah, GG nih cok di roadnya. Wah, GG Brusco. Brusco lagi. GG Devo. Aduh, nggak bisa. GG cok, bisa nggak RRQ? Ketangkep cok, Brusco. GG nih, kenapa tiba-tiba melawan ini Rusia? RRQ kebanyakan main-main nih guys. Kau sebenarnya bukan Kingdom kan ceng, biji kau bukan Kingdom. Woi Banana, what are you doing Banana? Ih GG cok Banana. Oh dia harus kayak gitu guys, nggak bisa. GG satu sama. Anjir gua.
We're gonna be heading towards a game number 3. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a series.
That's right, as you are seeing Deusvult knocking on the doors for RRQ, letting them know
Astaga. Malah ke comeback adik-adik. GG nih RRQ. Malah gue udah pikir gue bakal main Magic Chess, udah ternyata GG. Seneng RRQ banget. Seneng biji kau, seneng. Gamenya aku kira bakal game mudah loh. Pakai acara pakai dirot sih guys. Ngapain juga dirot-irot guys. Ya panjang cerita dong ini guys. GG.
Yeah, RRQ Hoshi right now. I didn't say it's gonna be a 2-1, right? I just didn't say who was gonna win the series because
GG adik-adik.
Once we head into game number 3, and to think that it all went to RRQ, right? The map control, the turtles, all those.
Seng, udahlah nyamarnya. Ngaku saja sebenarnya kau bukan ipos. Jadi gue bukan ipos memang, kocak.
That one turnaround, that one team fight that can actually turn the tides around on the game. I've seen it yesterday in S2G and Twisted Minds, and we're gonna be seeing it here again in Deusvult and RRQ, which is the reason why Deusvult was actually dubbed as the dark horse back in the M5 World Championship.
Nathan Scalar datang, GG.
If any team could pull this off, it is definitely Deusvult. And they put on a show for game number 2. I mean, RRQ Hoshi was dominating that entire game. But hey, once it gets to that late game, turrets are not even necessary. It really just boils down to who can execute more on the team fights on the neutral objective Lord. And that ended up being Deusvult able to bait out the utility and rush in for the opportunity. And they seized it. This is going to put RRQ Hoshi in a very tight position now as the series is evened out. Now, which way does it go?
Itu settingan ya, dikalahin coy, menghormati tuan rumah. GG.
They just weren't able to close out in the late as we are now jumping into some of the spicy engagements for match number 2.
Yeah, the setups here were on point actually. For the side of RRQ, you see Brusco just pressuring out a lot of Kid Bomba there over on the early game, right? Like even though he's able to sustain.
Gue heran kan kok di TikTok tuh ada yang bisa live-in ini ya, live-in turnamen Mobile Legends. Kalau gua live-in ini, pasti gua bakal di ini guys. Di apa namanya? Di ban, cok. Tapi orang ini dia nggak di ban anjir.
Ultimately, what RRQ Hoshi did right here in the early game was taking the objectives, the space too, which is exactly why they were able to push it to a point that Deusvult only had.
Kalau YouTube kayaknya nggak apa-apa. Minta izinnya kemana guys? Kalau TikTok, gue udah tanya agen juga nggak bisa. Agensi pun nggak bisa, cok. Kalau live-in turnamen ML pasti ke ban. Kalau YouTube nih gue live-in nggak apa-apa. Enggak, maksudku di kalau di TikTok guys, live kayak gini pasti rame yang nonton guys. Kalau di TikTok. YouTube oke saja kayaknya, Seng. Dia nggak di-ban karena udah minta izin, Seng. Minta izinnya itu loh, gue mau cari tahu gimana sih live TikTok di ini. Soalnya gue tuh kalau live TikTok kan rame guys, kalau nonton kalau di YouTube tuh orang-orang pada nontonnya di channel pro player guys. Kalau pemula bagus di TikTok karena yang di TikTok nggak ada. Itu pun kalau diizinin, Seng. Wah, match terakhir nih gua. Apa kita akan
Yeah, the MVP is going to be Sunset Lover. I did mention the Novaria.
Ini lama, guys.
This is actually
ngapain ya lama gini, Cok?
banned also by the opponents, right? The vision, the burst, even the snipe kills that he was able to take. And I was pointing it out like mid-game, like nobody is taking down Sunset Lover yet. There were attempts on trying to take him down, but he had that.
Nah, di roadnya di road defense, guys. Kenapa di roadnya nggak di road damage ya, guys ya? Kenapa dia milih di road tapi mainnya defense, guys? Kalau dia mainnya attack harusnya bisa bantai-bantai tuh. Di roadnya ada defense, guys. Jadi damage-nya nggak ada. Gue pikir di roadnya damage. Damage-nya kurang, guys. Damage-nya si Hiko lebih gede, guys. Skylar damage-nya cuman berapa tuh? 61.000. Sedangkan si Iko 111, guys. Kalah jauh memang, guys ya.
Definitely going to game number 3, and that was the most intense match so far of the Game of Futures 2024. Who would have thought Deusvult able to turn this around and take us to a game number 3 against RRQ Hoshi, who's just been dominating all of their opponents. And it boiled down to some last-minute changes with the Lord and a couple of issues with RRQ Hoshi being able to close out the game. I mean, they committed really well on the side lanes on all the major objectives. They were able to take everything, but then it boiled down to not being able to close it out. And now, with it sitting 1-1, Deusvult having a chance to claim this series.
Yeah, it's 2-1 definitely from these two stellar teams, and Deusvult, you just can't count them out just yet. After that performance there by RRQ Hoshi, the thing that RRQ Hoshi just got everything in the bag, right? The early game, the mid game, and that one clash that just turned everything around for the side of Deusvult. And we're going to game number 3. I'm expecting to see maybe a Novaria pickup for RRQ, or maybe just ban it away totally. I mean, at this point, there's a lot of heroes that you have to consider putting on the ban list, but the Novaria, either steal it away or put it on the ban list.
And I love seeing matches that go to a game 3. Just seeing both of these teams fight it out. I mean, honestly, anybody that wins this, you can definitely tell they put in a lot of work to get there. It was not a one-sided story. Deusvult, if they claim victorious on this, it would be an epic, I guess, considered a reverse sweep if they do pull it off. But if RRQ Hoshi is able to do it, then hey, I mean, they just had one bad game. I do think, though, in order for Deusvult to have a chance to even win this next game, they gotta find a way to dominate in the early phase, because RRQ Hoshi got everything in the entire game up until that last the end game. But I don't think they're gonna let them go to that late game again and not execute to be able to close.
Udah saya ngantuk, saya nggak kuat.
This next match, just what you guys think that are watching the stream, was that the most intense match we have seen so far?
Sama Bang Pais, gue juga ngantuk kayaknya.
Group stage A is where it's at. I don't know about y'all, but these matches have been crazy. We got to see Bebex and Nico fight it out, and now Deusvult and RRQ Hoshi, and they're definitely not disappointing today with the intensity.
Yeah, man, I think all of the matches that I've seen here in Games of the Future are all good. And we're just talking about the group stages. We're going to be having, of course, the semifinals, even the quarterfinals later on. So group stage is kind of telling to how all these teams are just really good in their respective regions, which is the reason why Games of the Future